Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for My Hero Academia, chapter 272. Alright, and okay, so, well, pretty much before I even get into the review itself, just to pretty much let you guys know that at the end of the chapter, it pretty much said that pretty much, the next chapter of My Hero Academia is coming out on regular schedule next week on May 31st. But just to give you guys a heads up, that next week is actually my birthday. Uh, I know. So depending on what happens that day, the pretty much review might be depending on what happens that day. The review might be coming out a little bit later. Like I said, even though there's not a whole lot to do considering the circumstances, whole lot for me to sell, a whole lot of ways for me to celebrate a birthday. I think my family is gonna still try and plan something out. Yeah, but yeah, if the next week's review for My Hero Academia ends up being late, that's the reason, because it's going to come out on my birthday. But with that said, let's get into the chapter review itself. My Hero Academia, chapter 272, and oh boy, so where to even begin with this chapter other than to say everything that could have gone wrong and every worst case scenario we've imagined is pretty much on track to happen with Shigaraki fully awakening, fully awakening, and his power like fully integrating in his power fully integrating into the quirk of his into All for One's quirk as well, and to the All for One quirk as well. And one thing I really appreciate is how Horikoshi didn't even bother building it up any longer. He just dove right in with the pure, unfiltered, absolute chaos that comes with Shigaraki having fully embraced his master's quirk. And if the scale we see in this chapter is what Shigaraki is capable of unleashing in just a small area, and not even like possibly fully conscious, then we can really only imagine the disaster and the pure absolute destruction he's going to be able to unleash on a more populated area. Like, understand, at this point, there is no real way for anyone to escape. Any heroes that remain, including the students, either face this down now or risk millions more losing their lives. Like, we literally saw characters die from we literally saw characters die in this chapter from Shigaraki's quirk being unleashed onto this city. And like, and anyone who was caught in that blast, yeah, they're pretty much dead. And it was made absolutely, it's one of those things that was not, it was more brutal than most scenarios like this. But I think one thing that's been made absolutely fucking clear with this chapter is that this was an absolutely crushing defeat for the heroes. Like, they were massacred by this power. Oh my god, like, it's kind of scary. Like, it really is scary, that the level of destructive power that like, just on this display alone, it's really kind of fucking scary, the level of destructive power that Shigaraki now possesses. It's pretty much gone exactly how pretty much Dabi had predicted it would. Shigaraki will destroy everything. Nothing is going to escape from his power anymore. Like, everything is going to be destroyed, and from the ashes, who knows what's going to be born. It's insane. That's all I can say. Yeah, sorry. I know I went on a bit of a breathless rant there, but what could I even say in that with say about that? Like really, what more could I say? It's oh boy, next couple of chapters are going to be very interesting to say the least. Um, Now, of course, that's not to say, that's not to say there wasn't any buildup either. And one thing I do appreciate about this chapter is how the full magnitude of what was going on didn't hit our main characters until it was practically too late. So now it's putting everyone in quick response mode, and like I said, all hands need to be on deck in order to save as many people as many people as they can. And it's kind of funny, but even in a worst case scenario like this, it's it's really just another test for Class 1A. Like this whole thing with Shigaraki, with the level of destruction that's been unleashed by Shigaraki. It's Class 1A's first real test of their heroism and how good they are at getting the citizens to safety through this worst case scenario. And after seeing the little teases we got of him like directing citizens of where to go and whatnot, I feel it'll be an interesting test for Bakugo, because we've already seen Izuku pretty much save people countless times, and Bakugo on the other hand, we've seen him save people, but never to this level. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see all the characters how all the characters like react and respond, like how the characters react and respond in their own way to this. I'm definitely keeping my eye on Bakugo for sure, and how he responds to this sort of worst case scenario, because this I think is going to be one where he needs to where I think he's probably going to be tested the most, honestly, in a weird way. Now, yeah, let's talk about the scene where we see the first holder of One for All pretty much telepathically warning Izuku about Shigaraki having inherited his brother's power. And the interesting thing to talk about with that scene is not so much the warning itself, but more what we saw come from, as we pretty much saw what came from it, but rather seeing how Izuku's friends react to, but rather the reactions of Izuku's friends, and seeing him just go quiet during his like little inner communion with his predecessor, because the one key interesting thing to take away from just that scene of them of Todoroki and Ochiko just kind of looking at Izuku just kind of like inner commune with himself. They're kind of questioning what's going on with him right now, and they're not stupid. They see something's up with them. So that plus the fact that Izuku is able to act as quickly as he did against that wave of decay, like if unless it's chalked up to just his quick reflexes, what's going on with Izuku right now, it's going to raise more than a few questions now. And because of this one moment, on top of a few other subtle moments we've gotten in previous arcs, I think this is in some ways going to force a confrontation between Izuku and his friends at this point. Like we're headed where at some point very soon, Izuku's going to have to come clean about his power, because at this point we've gotten very subtle moments building to that, and I feel that's just one of those many things that's coming to a head here. And even if it doesn't happen now, it's going to happen real soon. And I guess one weird thing to talk about, to end off this review is I kind of want to mention very quickly Izuku's attack that he used to repel the wave of decay. St. Louis Smash Air Force. And I don't know if that was an unintentionally naming choice by this degree, but after seeing Izuku use that attack name specifically, I kind of want a sort of a military naming theme from this point on for Izuku's attacks. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but yeah, I just want to see that now. But yeah, guys. So that's all I got for this review. Just tell me what you guys think of this crazy, crazy ass chapter. But yeah, things are just everything's coming to a head. Everything's gonna come crashing down beyond this point. So just yeah, just tell me what you guys think. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and let's do Crunchyroll. Death Knight of Enemy, signing off. Later, guys.